Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Newsgram. Let's talk a little bit about the people in the Bible. Is it possible that we're confused about their skin color and true identity? Is it possible that the things we always thought we knew were wrong? When the Bible talks about slavery, who are the enslaved people? What about holidays? Have we formed our thoughts and ideas about holidays incorrectly? And is it possible that they have very little to do with Scripture and more to do with distracting us from the truth? These are pretty heavy questions, I know. Carl Jones is a man that wants to set the record straight. He's a passionate, intelligent man that has done a great deal of biblical research, and he's written a book that turns many of our religious ideas upside down. It's called We Are the My People in the Bible. And before we get into the specifics of the book, I need to tell you that Carl doesn't strike me as the kind of man who does things for shock value or to be sensational. He's passionate about his beliefs and he is eager to share his findings. So, regarding the title.
Okay, the my people in the Bible are people people refer to us as black. But in actuality, our color is not black. In fact, Hebrews are from light skin tone or even pale pink to a darker brown. We go to Moses in Exodus 4:6. He stuck his hand in the bosom, took it out, it was white like leopard. When he stuck it back in his hand, it changed back to the color of the flesh, as the Bible says. In Genesis 14:13, it states that Abram was a Hebrew. So the Hebrew are people with their skin color is melanated. And this was specifically designed by God, the Father. And who are we to contradict what the Father has done? We can contradict, but are we doing it correctly? So that's why I said we are the my people in the Bible.
In his book, Carl takes issue with Hollywood and their portrayal of biblical characters. He says the reality of these people is not what you see portrayed on the screen. And to be completely fair to Hollywood, that may have been the case during the early years, but I think lately things have changed. Anyway, he also says that many of our religious leaders have also gotten things wrong.
What we have been taught as Christians, Roman Catholics, and so on, if the information that's been given to you, is it correct by those leaders? Because leaders are men, and men sometimes get things wrong.
He also takes issue with Christian holidays and how they're celebrated with symbols like the Easter Bunny, Santa Claus, and Christmas trees. He says they intentionally alter our perception of the true meaning of those days.
Those holidays, and the word holiday has actually come from the Bible. And holiday refers to what man does to celebrate for himself. But actually the word came from holy day, which means reference to God and what we should celebrate to God only.
And don't even get him started on Halloween. He also addresses, in a pretty graphic way, the atrocity of slavery. Now, not to minimize the Jewish Holocaust of the 40s, but according to Carl, the first Holocaust actually began on a slave ship bound for Virginia in 1619. These ships were full of disease, people chained to each other on a long, hot journey, and once they arrived in America, they were sold. Children separated from their parents, they were given new names and denied an education. And there is a lot more than this, and it gets very graphic in the book, but the bottom line is, it began a period of 400 years of biblical slavery that Carl says is now up.
If you go to the 13th verse of Genesis, he had to put Abraham to sleep because he used the word horror. Because what we went through, our forefather went through, are the people that was transported in boat, it was pitiful condition. And I looked it up, it said the quickest that the voyages would make it probably 4 weeks. The longest was 4 months. And it was an expression that some people years ago said that they could smell the slave ship when it entered the harbor. And see, if you look at the movie Roots, when they put Kente Kute on the ship, the first thing he rinsed was the smell, because they didn't have water hoses. They probably had buckets to throw some of the stuff off, but not completely clean. We were first imported in the year 1619. And 400 years of that would be 2019. So the 400 years is up. So what we're now waiting on is the Exodus. Now, how that gonna occur, I don't know.
You'll have to read his book to get the full meaning of what he says here. And granted, this may all seem highly controversial, but that's where you come in. What do you think about all this? Carl is very detail-oriented, and he likes to get things correct, like the specific day Jesus died and rose again. He also talks about the proper names for God and Jesus. We use the simplified versions of their names, and it's done so we all know who we're talking about, but if you come from a race of people forced to change their names, I can see how using the proper name can be very important. Also,
we should question everything about this life.
I couldn't agree more. Accepting everything at face value was never something I was very good at. You need to question everything. If you want answers, you have to ask questions. And according to Carl, the truth is out there. It's up to us to find it. Is the truth in the book We Are the My People in the Bible? Maybe. Have a look. It's available online wherever you like to buy books, and we've put a link to one of those sources right in the show's description. And that will do it for this edition of Newsgram from webtalkradio.com.